Hello, hello, hello.
Well, look, EV is a sexy area indeed. But at least Indonesia, when it dreams about trying to become a player, it has the critical minerals under the ground to process. So, one of the major batteries is nickel, manganese, cobalt. And at least the nickel, we have plenty. We're the largest in the world in terms of reserve, and that's usually 80% of the content. So we may not be able to yet make our own battery technology, but we can make the battery materials, the powders. And these powders are pretty much needed, by those technology players, whether it is in the East or in the West. So we think, like for example, our company called Vector, our tagline is Indonesian-born global contribution. We can actually contribute globally on this one. And number two, what we are trying to do also in this net zero industrial park in South Sulawesi, right? How about if all of those good things for battery materials, if we process it with renewable energy that is now possible to be done with capital and technology. And, the East and the West are very much, up to date. For example, in the past, you need 9 meters per second wind in order to process this wind farm. Now with 4 or 5 meters per second is good enough. And why do we start with heavy mobility? Because I think, doing it B2B or B2G is a good way to accelerate the adoption of EV. We like to say that the first love of EV is actually in the public bus, right? Because you can transport a lot more people and it is much more accessible. Now, with the ASEAN neighbors, I think it is not just pure competition, although competition sometimes is actually good, but collaboration can be done. So for example, Malaysia is very much known for its semiconductor capability. This one bus has 3,000 chips, right? So one day we can have probably the next factory after Indonesia, maybe in Malaysia. And Thailand is very much known for making the four-wheelers, right? Maybe one day we can do something together with Thailand. And Vietnam, of course, with one example already went public in the US. So I actually see, starting with Indonesia, a bit biased, but also ASEAN as a production hub for the world. Oh, let me talk one thing about welfare. So this downstreaming of critical minerals is happening mostly in the eastern part of Indonesia. Again, this is 17,500 islands. So when the eastern part of Indonesia, before less developed, now is having GDP per capita percentage rise 3 times the national average. This is something good. This is something that has not been done before. And again, combined with the biodiversity, one day we're going to be able to evaluate and being recognized by the world. That can be also our money machine, hopefully.